Today I've got a land battle for you. This is Ogre Kingdoms versus Cathay, a matchup that I personally, as the Ogre Kingdoms, don't quite enjoy because Cathay has so many spears and also cannons. But I got a little lucky this time, even though they have a great big awesome hill, my opponent does. They did not bring any cannons. That being said, these crane gunners are definitely putting a hurt on my iron fists. But this makes my life so much easier. I had hidden some lead belchers and all my expensive cavalry kind of in these trees here because I was waiting for those cannons to just start shredding my front line. No cannons to be seen. The iron bulls, or sorry, the iron fists are not going to be so good against Celestial Dragon Guard. They're getting their butts handled. But I do have some magic to help them with support. I've dragged a bunch of cav over this direction, which is really ideal. I do want to get to these crane gunners, and I was able to just slip right past his front line. He has some cav in the back here, though, to try and defend those crane gunners, goodness. And then the Righteous Lances of Ying are also on the battlefield. They're going to make very short work of these Iron Fists. My Saber Tusk pack coming in, not really, I think, for any more of a fight than just to ensure the crane gunners are offline. Half of them look like they're up the hill, though. Iron Guts on this side also got through, and I just got really lucky busting through this whole section here. I've got this Noblar Scrap Launcher, which is... it's not picking up that much damage, but it does some pretty meaty damage throughout the battle. That's something I like to bring against Cathay simply because Cathay, the spears are a huge problem. You need some anti-infantry, and lead belchers aren't going to cut it because lead belchers will just get shot to pieces with a cannon. If you bring a Noblar Scrap Launcher, sometimes your opponent can focus on purely it, and you can kind of just try to meet Cathay with the melee grind and your mobility. But if they don't have cannons or they don't try to answer it, that Scrap Launcher can actually rack up quite a bit of value. As you can see, it's actually landing some shots here now. So I've got these Sky Striders coming in. They're going to engage with these Righteous Lancers, and the Righteous Lancers are not going to stand a chance in this fight unless they get some much-needed support from the Celestial Dragon Guard. These Sky Striders have way too much of a stat line for these Righteous Lancers to handle. Bringing back some, let's see, scraps of Iron Guts. The army has really kind of devolved in different points. Miao Ying was not transforming into her dragon form. I'm assuming because she wanted to just get a bunch of heals off. But works for me because I've got her surrounded by Iron Guts and my Slaughtermaster, and that is just not feeling good for her. Iron Guts have got to be one of my favorite units on the Ogre Kingdom roster, just from a looks standpoint. I just love them. They have some heavy armor, armor piercing, and they're just armored ogres. I absolutely love ogres, and armored is the best way to have them. Coming in with a rear charge here on the Sky Striders. Back to these Iron Guts, though. Before this patch, I think it's 1.3, they were not that great, and I never knew why until the patch came out and they said fixed a splashing damage, or fixed splashing, goodness, fixed splash damage for Iron Guts and Man-Eaters. And so now they actually hit a whole lot harder. You can pretty much trade cost effectively into most infantry with them, except for, of course, halberds. They're not going to win that fight, but this is a pretty quick replay. But I just know, for me personally, land battles, Ogres versus Cathay has been such a tough matchup. So I wanted to post this because I got lucky and I felt really good after this one. I was like, dang, that was fun. I wanna do another one. I wanna fight against Cathay with cannons. I wanna kind of push my limits more and more because ogres are definitely up there in the top favorites of my favorites list. So anyway, let's check the damage at the end screen. So as you can see, my Slaughtermaster definitely did a decent job. I don't think he paid for himself. I usually kit him out pretty heavily because I like a lord that can survive for super long. Same with the Sky Striders. They did not pay for themselves quite there, but they definitely retained their value in the sense that they were able to keep the backline from shooting into my units. Iron Guts doing some pretty meaty value. I'm pretty sure these ones were the ones stuck on Miao Ying, which is really, really nice to see. The Lead Belchers also getting a decent amount of value. They had the Celestial Dragon Guard to shoot into. And then Noblar Cannon, or Noblar Scrap Launcher really did not do as much as I was hoping. I think it got attacked by cavalry at the later stages of the game. But it is that late insurance that I think can sometimes save you the game. If you have an anti-infantry piece near the end of the battle, that can be so useful. Ogre Bull's not doing much. That's just to be expected. Sabertooth, same thing there. And then the Noblars really were just there to defend pieces like the Lead Belchers or this scrap launcher. Now, for the opponent's army, I really think things could have gone a lot better. Miao Ying is definitely strong lord, and I think it's definitely good to take her, especially with these Righteous Lancers. She can buff them pretty well and give them heals. But I'm not sure if I gotta check the kit on that one. I should have during the replay. But if she was getting value, it must have been through heals, which I just wasn't seeing throughout that battle. These Lancers and all of these infantry pretty much got almost no value. I think the Crane Gunners, as good as they are, I really think cannons are much, much better in this matchup. Cannons are cheaper, and they decimate Ogre blocks of infantry. Jade Lancers, or not Jade Lancers, goodness. Jade Warriors, not doing too great. These Peasant Cav definitely did a little bit when it comes to holding up my flanks, but I think Jade Lancers would have been so much better in place of these guys. Jade Lancers actually have the armor to fend off Saber Tusk Pack for quite a decent time, even win against them. So Jade Lancers and Cannons are the main things I would have changed up in this build. Maybe the Lord as well. Miao Ying, as good as she is, a little too micro-intensive for me. So anyway, that's just the fight. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.